Hey y'all, I am cooking dinner tonight and I've already got mine done, but it's so easy it's almost embarrassing to share it with you, but I'm going to do one in a freezer meal and show you how to do that also. I went to the grocery store this past weekend and they had a sale on their ground beef, so I bought some big packs of it so I could do some freezer meals. So this one is ground beef Philly cheesesteak. And so far, I've got 1.5 pounds of ground beef in the bag. And I'm going to add in a 1/2 cup of sliced mushrooms. I went ahead and got all this stuff sliced and prepared so you didn't have to watch all that. And I went ahead and put all my seasonings in a bowl. And I'll share this recipe with you, but it is a steak seasoning, whatever you prefer. Garlic seasoning. I've got my 3 onion rub in here, some paprika, and salt and pepper. And that is it, and it smells amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle that in. And if you're not familiar with the adjustable measuring spoons, let me tell you, I use this one to measure all of them. This one goes 1 teaspoon, 1.5 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, 2.5 teaspoons, and then 1 tablespoon. So I was able to use that one for all my measurements. And then the smaller one goes from 1/8 teaspoon, 1/8 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon, 3/4 teaspoon, all the way down to 1 teaspoon. So this one measuring spoon, or these two, measure just about everything you need. This little slider pops out for easy cleaning, but even if you're doing liquid or dry, it does keep it separated for you. So I thought I would show you that too. Now, the other thing is, and then to be in the instructions, it calls for a pepper and onion blend, and I didn't cut my own up. I just bought them already frozen, and since I've already cooked one, I had divided my bags. So I've got my onion and pepper blend here. Let me go ahead, before I put that in, I need a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. So I've got my Easy Read measuring cup, and I'm going to put a tablespoon of that. And also in the directions that I'll share with you, the recipe, it calls for some olive oil. I don't put my olive oil in the bag, and I don't know why. Most recipes will tell you to use olive oil when you're browning turkey or beef, but the meat usually has enough fat in it that I don't never add it. Sometimes I do if it's real lean meat, but anyway, so I'm not adding any oil in it, and you'll see that in the recipe and instructions, but now you'll know why I didn't add it. So I'm going to put in the rest of my peppers and onions, but before I do that, I'm going to just take this bag and just kind of mix all this, kind of knead it together a little bit. So all those, oh, it smells good. All those flavors will kind of come together. And I know that's noisy, so I'll stop, and I'll do it off camera before I put it in the freezer. Let me put this back on the bag, but the only thing I have left to add now is my pepper and onions, and you're welcome to cut up your own, but this time I just did the frozen ones in the bag, and that works very well. I have used them many times. So that is it for the freezer meal. And again, I am going to mash it and combine all of that together, and then I lay it down flat. If you've watched me do freezer meals before, you know I lay it down flat after I get it all mixed up well, and get as much air out as possible and seal the bag. But I like laying it flat in my freezer because when you're thawing it out, it thaws out faster. And also having them stacked up this way takes up much less room than if you've got a big blob in a bag. So the other thing the recipe calls for is provolone and Swiss cheese. And I went ahead and did those, and I've got them in a finer shred and then the larger shred. I just like to do that. So I will take these two and put in one freezer bag together along with a name. I'll write on the outside of the bag what it is and when I froze it. I typically like to use mine within 90 days after I freeze them. And then I put my cooking instructions, and I'll share cooking instructions with you for stovetop, crock pot, and a pressure cooker. So So how easy is that? So when you're coming home and you've got a bargain on some meats, go ahead and divide them up and add a few things to them and make them into an easy meal to fix one night. So now let me get my hot pan off the stove and show you what it looks like when it's done. Get all my stuff out of the way here. Okay. I'll take this with me. Okay. I did mine on the stovetop. I chose the stovetop method. And I love using the saute and steam pan because I was able to put some rolls right on the top and steam them as I was browning my mixture in the bottom. So I love doing that. And I'm gonna move that out of the way because I've already got one roll on the plate. I like to eat mine without a roll. And we'll have a lot left over, and then I use it for like my lunch during the week for what's left. So this is the steam basket that comes with it. It collapses, so if you're wanting to steam veggies on top of water or any food or shrimp, stuff like that, you can do it. So I'm gonna move that out of the way. And y'all look. It makes a lot. Doesn't it look delicious? And I did put mine under the broiler. I did it on the stovetop. And then after it was done, I put it under the broiler because I like my cheese nice and toasty. So I'll put some on and let you see it. It's been sitting for a while, so it's probably cool. Cut some apart. That cheese, when you shred your own cheese, you get a cheese pull like that. Oh, it is just delicious. And I made a mess. But you'll get the idea of what it looks like, even though I made a mess. Doesn't it look delicious? So again, you can serve it on hoagie rolls or buns. We like the buns. And again, I like it just without any bun at all. It's just a hearty meal. It's got our vegetables in there, good flavor to it. So that's it. How easy was that? So again, I will share the recipe in the comments. So go ahead, when you find meat like that on deal, we got to get it. We got to save all we can at the grocery store and go ahead and stock up. And if you don't make freezer meals, you can easily divide it in bags and just freeze the plain hamburger. Now, a lot of times I would just go ahead and brown my meat with just salt and pepper and maybe a little bit of garlic, because just about any recipe we're going to cook with beef is going to ask for salt, pepper, or garlic. So you can go ahead and cook a bunch of meat up and have that in 1 pound or 2 pound bags to grab and make dinner go fast at night. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll put pictures of the process along the way at the end of this video. And as always, the recipe will be in the comments. Thanks, y'all. Have a great night. Bye-bye.